With the resistance of Leia Organa severely weakened and the First Order of Kylo Ren taking the place of the New Republic, a message was transmitted across the galaxy announcing the return of Emperor Palpatine, also known as the Sith Master Darth Sidious, threatening revenge upon his enemies. Knowing that Palpatine was a threat to his power, Kylo Ren set out to kill him and used a Wayfinder to find Exegol, the hidden world of the Sith in the unknown regions. Though the Dark Lord was in poor physical condition and attached to machines, the Sith Eternal who followed him were numerous, and it was clear he still possessed a great deal of dark side power. Having survived his death in the Battle of Endor, likely through midichlorian manipulation learned from his master Darth Plagueis, Sidious revealed to Kylo that he was behind most of what occurred following the war, including the creation of Snoke and the First Order, as well as the voices in his head which led him to the dark side. After the defeat of the First Empire, Sidious retreated to the unknown regions, where the Sith Eternal cultists lived for many years, building a second secret empire and fleet, manned by the planet's population, which was entirely devoted to the worship of the dark side. Using these followers and others, Sidious manipulated events from the shadows, ensuring that the Imperial remnants and New Republic exhausted themselves in battle, allowing for the First Order to take power and set the stage for the Sith Empire, preparing to strike from Exegol, consisting of the greatest fleet ever constructed, with thousands of advanced Star Destroyers. All of this he offered to Kylo Ren, who might rule as Sith Emperor, but only if he kills Palpatine's granddaughter Rey, who was a potential rival to their power. Accepting the mission, Kylo returned to his ship and announced their merger with the Sith fleet, while also claiming there was a spy among them, causing General Pryde to immediately suspect General Hux. After the destruction of Starkiller Base, the project leader, General Hux, suffered a severe blow to his reputation, allowing Pryde to become the highest-ranking officer under Kylo Ren. However, Hux was determined to win back his power, and so started leaking classified information to the Resistance, hoping they might help him bring down his political rivals. The information from Hux was sent through a Resistance contact to Poe, Finn, Chewbacca, and R2-D2, who brought it back to Resistance headquarters on Ajan Kloss, where Rey was training under General Leia and studying ancient Jedi texts. However, the young Jedi continued to struggle with the dark side, like when she was contacted by Kylo Ren while running an obstacle course, causing her to lash out in anger and fell a tree which damaged BB-8. Returning from their mission, Finn and the team brought back the First Order intel, which confirmed Palpatine was alive on the hidden world of Exegol, in possession of the largest fleet in the galaxy. Knowing she needed to stop him, Rey recalled Luke Skywalker's notes about trying to locate this world, and so started her search where he left off, going to the planet Pasaana, joined by Finn, Poe, Chewie, C-3PO, and BB-8 aboard the Millennium Falcon. While on Pasaana, Rey was contacted again by Kylo Ren, who physically removed from her a ceremonial necklace and had it analyzed to reveal their location. Under threat from the First Order, Rey and her allies were rescued by Lando Calrissian, who lived on the planet and noticed their presence. Having been with Luke during the mission to find Exegol, his information led them to the desert, where they found a dagger with writing that could lead them to a wayfinder on the remains of Ochi of Bestoon, a Sith loyalist and Jedi hunter working for Palpatine. Confronted by the First Order as they tried to leave the planet, Chewie and the dagger were captured, leading Rey to use the Force to try and stop the transport ship from leaving. When Kylo countered her efforts, Rey lost control and channeled the dark side, creating a blast of Force lightning which destroyed the ship. Believing that Chewie was dead and the dagger lost, Rey and the others escaped on Ochi's ship, making their way to Kijimi, where a droid smith could retrieve the necessary information from C-3PO's memory, as he read what was on the blade, but was mechanically incapable of speaking this forbidden language. Thanks to Zori Bliss, an old friend of Poe from his days as a spice runner, they found the droid smith Babu Frick and retrieved the message, which stated the Sith Wayfinder was on a moon in the Endor system. Yet before they could leave, Rey sensed that Chewbacca was still alive aboard Kylo Ren's Star Destroyer, and with a First Order captain's medallion given to them by Zori Bliss, they infiltrated the enemy ship. Splitting up, Poe and Finn rescued Chewbacca, only to be captured soon after, while Rey found the Sith dagger but was once again contacted by Kylo Ren. Having learned the truth from the Emperor, Kylo revealed that she was sold as a child to protect her from Palpatine, and her parents died at the hands of his servant, Ochi the Jedi Hunter. Realizing she was on his ship, Kylo returned to his Star Destroyer and confronted Rey in person, and at last revealed the ultimate truth about her past, that Rey's father was the son of the Emperor. And while Sidious wanted Kylo to kill Rey, he had no intention of obeying and instead wanted her to join him in killing the Dark Lord so they could rule the galaxy together. With Kylo as the grandson of Darth Vader and Rey as the granddaughter of Darth Sidious, they both had enormous force potential as individuals, but even more so together, as the connection between them was in fact a dyad in the Force, a rare condition not seen in generations, which allowed two Force users to combine their powers and act as one. With Sidious unaware of the extent of their Force bond, they might have an advantage if they attacked him together, but Rey could not be swayed and escaped with her allies, who were set free by the spy General Hux. Though he took a wound to the leg to cover up his betrayal, General Pryde was not convinced and immediately executed Hux as a traitor. Arriving in the Endor system, Rey and the others met a Resistance contact, and with the dagger located the Wayfinder among wreckage from the second Death Star. After experiencing a Force vision in which Rey was confronted by her own dark side, the Wayfinder ended up in the hands of Kylo Ren, who just arrived. Destroying it to force her to work with him, she instead attacked in anger and fought a duel, ending with Kylo victorious. Yet as he moved to strike the killing blow, he was contacted through the Force by his mother Leia, who used the last of her life energy to try and bring him back to the light side. This feeling led him to drop his lightsaber, allowing Rey to catch it and stab him through the stomach, at which point they both felt Leia's death. Realizing what she'd done, Rey used Force healing to save his life, and claimed the person she felt connected to was Ben Solo and not Kylo Ren. With Rey departing aboard his TIE fighter, Kylo was left to think about his life, and after remembering his father, at last resolved the conflict within him and abandoned the dark side, becoming Ben Solo once more. Meanwhile, Rey, terrified of becoming the Sith Empress from her vision, retreated to Ahch-To, where she could disappear like Luke Skywalker, but his Force ghost soon appeared, explaining he was wrong to have done so, and she must face her fear and confront Palpatine in the name of the Jedi Order. Shown that there was a second Wayfinder to Exegol on Kylo Ren's TIE fighter, Rey, who already held Luke's lightsaber, was given the weapon Leia used in training, which she put down after having a vision that someone would need it in the future. Armed with both lightsabers, Rey boarded Luke's old X-Wing and left for Exegol. With Kylo Ren gone and Hux dead, the former Imperial officer Enric Pryde took command of the First Order and pledged himself to Sidious. On his orders, Pryde launched an attack to destroy the planet Kijimi, after which a message was sent across the galaxy announcing a new Sith Empire and final order, threatening to destroy any planet which did not submit to their rule. Learning that every Star Destroyer in the Sith fleet had planet-destroying weapons, the Resistance lost hope, but R2-D2 soon received a signal from Luke Skywalker's old X-Wing and realized Rey was leading them to Exegol. Seeing this as their last chance to stop the enemy fleet, the Resistance formulated a plan and sent every available ship into battle. Once arrived, they set out to keep the Sith Star Destroyers from leaving the planet's atmosphere, as this meant they could not activate shields and remained vulnerable to attack. Although they originally targeted a navigation tower, which sent a necessary signal to the Star Destroyers, Pryde saw what they were doing and shut it down, with his ship the Steadfast taking over the task of leading the fleet into space. However, Finn, having recently discovered he was Force sensitive, felt what happened and redirected their attack to the Steadfast, successfully preventing them from breaking atmosphere. Yet even so, the Resistance had no chance of victory on their own, and so awaited Lando and Chewie on the Falcon, who put out a galaxy-wide call for reinforcements. As all this occurred, Rey met with Sidious in the throne room, where the full extent of his plans were at last revealed, explaining that the power of all past Sith lived within him, and if she struck him down, it would pass into her so she could rule as Empress of the Galaxy. With Sidious having lost so much of his strength after falling to Darth Vader, he planned for his Sith Empire to be led by a new apprentice and heir. Although this role was originally reserved for Rey, her parents helped her evade capture as a child, and so it instead went to Kylo Ren, who Palpatine groomed to be a Sith Lord. Yet even though he passed the final test by killing his master, Snoke, Kylo was unable to fully commit himself to the dark side, and so Palpatine offered Rey the chance to become heir to the Sith legacy. Though she did not want to accept, she might have, if only to take command of the Sith fleet and save the Resistance from slaughter, but the arrival of Ben Solo gave her renewed strength, and she refused to kill the Emperor. Taking on the Sovereign Protectors with Leia's lightsaber, Rey transferred Luke's weapon to Ben, who swiftly defeated the Knights of Ren and joined her in the throne room. Disappointed by both his heirs, Sidious seized them, but soon realized that the bond between them was a dyad in the Force, so powerful it could restore his body and make him stronger than ever. Abandoning his plan to take an heir, Sidious drained Rey and Ben of their Force energy and relished in his new abilities, tossing Ben Solo into an abyss before launching a savage lightning attack into the sky above, causing great damage to the last Resistance ships fighting alongside thousands of reinforcements from all across the galaxy who answered the call and came to fight for their freedom. Sidious stopped when Rey stood to face him after summoning the spirits of Jedi past to give her strength for one last confrontation. The Dark Lord, claiming to represent the power of all Sith, launched a final lightning assault against Rey, but with the help of both Luke and Leia's lightsabers, she in turn harnessed the power of all Jedi and reversed the attack, physically destroying the Emperor. Though Rey did not survive the battle, Ben Solo did and sacrificed his own life to bring her back. With the First Order, Last Order, and Sith Empire defeated, the survivors of the battle on Exegol spread word of their victory, leading to celebrations across the galaxy. But Rey still had one more mission to accomplish, visiting Luke's childhood home on Tatooine, where she buried his and Leia's lightsabers. When asked her name by a local, the Force ghosts of Luke and Leia appeared, and so the Last Jedi proudly called herself Rey Skywalker. A special thanks to all those who contribute to CivilizationEx, like Archthane Uriel of the realm Dunatar, Barachado, Sir Rice of the Dreadfort, and Mamoru the Obscured Hermit Alchemist. If you'd like to help the channel, go to patreon.com/CivilizationEx, where you can sign up and gain early access to videos, vote on future content, and access the Patreon-only series, Heroes of Lore and Legend.